Hello everyone, thanks for joining me in another episode in a series of videos that I'm calling Why Ayurveda? Today we're going to discuss the musculoskeletal system. We'll talk about what it is, and I'll give you some tips and recommendations on ways that you can keep this important system in balance. Now, if you've watched any of my previous videos, you'll know that Ayurveda is strongly rooted in the belief that all things are comprised of 5 elements: air, space, water, fire, and earth. Humans, animals, plants, everything is comprised of these elements and in varying and individual amounts. So, with that said, the musculoskeletal system is mainly associated with the earth element, and that makes sense because it provides the body's structure and sort of internal workings to make sure that we stay upright and we can move around and do the things that we'd like to do. So, when speaking about the musculoskeletal system, we're talking about the bones, the muscles, the tendons, the ligaments, as well as the fascia or the connective tissue that runs all the way throughout our body. Interestingly enough, both the bones and the muscles are affected by vata qualities, which are typically dry and made up of air and space. So if you think about it, with bones, it makes sense, right? We've got a dry, hard, rough substance that obviously is affected by those drier, cooler elements of air and space. And then when we think about muscles, they are driven by our nervous system. And our nervous system is a part of our vata as well, because it's involved in communication and getting the nerve system to send nervous signals down to the muscles so that we do things like react to a hot stove. Right? So vata plays a large role in our musculoskeletal system. So therefore, if we're looking at ways to improve the health of that system or to make sure that it stays in balance, then we're going to want to address the vata in each individual's constitution. So ways that we can make sure that our vata is pacified, because let's be honest, everybody's walking around with vata, with all the stress that we encounter in our lives. It can't help but get upset at times. So here's some ways that we can approach that to help keep that in balance. So the first one, Maharishi Ayurveda, we are huge supporters of the transcendental meditation technique. So I would suggest learning that right away if you're concerned with issues like osteoporosis or arthritis, or even muscle pain. Transcendental meditation can really help with that. Also, avoiding excess cold. Living in a warm climate is really recommended for people who have issues with bone health for obvious reasons, right? You don't want to increase the cold in a dry and rough bone, right? It would just cause more grief and more trouble, more disease. A regular sleep schedule is also recommended. Very important to go to sleep at 10 each evening and wake up at 6 a.m. It will really make a huge difference in the way that you feel, both inside and have energy for the day. Also, proper minerals in your food and your water is very important. From fertile soils, make sure your food is organic, and that your water is not too overly processed or overly filtered, because we need those important minerals in our bones, right, to keep them healthy, like calcium and phosphorus. Also, hip opening physical activities like walking, gentle yoga, Maharishi yoga asanas are recommended. And this can really help keep that important root. The pelvis is the root of that system. It can really keep it moving and keep it fluid so that we have long life and stay energetic through our daily activities. Lastly, foods for bone health that you can incorporate would be wheat, ghee, milk, garlic, honey, and even sniffing sandalwood aroma oils would be good for you. If you're concerned about muscle health, I'd recommend ripe mango, ripe banana, jaggery sugar, coconut, or jackfruit. I really appreciate you joining with me today, and if you have more questions, you can reach out to me and make an appointment. Thank you.